Hi y'all, Shoe Star Goddess. Okay, so I'm in my witchy room. I'm sitting on the floor. I'm comfortable. And I got a video request to speak about blood and spells and blood and rituals and what's it for, why do people use it, what's the significance about blood. Okay, for me personally, if I were to use blood in any of my spells, it would be to get a physical specimen of the way that I was feeling at the time of the spell, my intention, because as we all know, your DNA holds your information. Your blood holds your frequency because it's a liquid, and it also has crystals, and it has different elements in it. So it's just water, and all of that holds information and knowledge and vibration. So whatever you're feeling at the time, and you draw blood from yourself, that blood holds that intention immensely, because that cellular, that vibrational memory is in that blood. So, and it also contains a lot of elements as well that are very spiritual. So I want to show y'all. I have a crystal cluster that I have some of my blood on. As you can see, a spot of it right there. And this crystal is charged with my energy. This crystal is charged with my intention. This crystal is charged with something very specific to me that I was feeling at the time that this blood was put on there. And like, I don't cut myself or nothing like that. Some people prick their finger. Some people wait until they get an injury and use the blood for to charge and to use in spells, or they save it and they think or vibrate on the frequency and the intention, like they put the intention into what they want that blood to represent. Some people just go ahead and poke their finger. It doesn't matter, it's up to you. So this blood holds a lot of intent and energy, and so does this crystal now, and it is infused with mine, and I can use this for a later time. So that is why I use blood in certain rituals. I don't use it in all my rituals. You can use, a lot of people can use like spit or, you know, some other fluid, but if I use any fluid, it's going to be blood, because to me it's darker. It's the part of you. It's primordial. It's what gives you life, you know. It's just more sacred, I would say, you know. Even in Christianity, Jesus said that blood was sacred, and he taught like people, oh, this is my blood, drink my blood in remembrance of me, you know. So that right there should tell you that blood holds a memory. Okay, so there's lots of books on blood rituals, blood this, blood that, and like, you know, the vampire is said to like want blood, and that blood is life force, it's intention, it's power, it's everything that it makes us us. So it's like stealing a part of a person. You know how like on those cop shows when they like try to extract DNA from like a cup or a cigarette butt, but the criminal's so smart that they take their cup with them, or they don't drop their cigarette butt so the cops can't get it. Your DNA and your blood is precious information that make up a lot about you. So it's very you know, taboo almost. So a lot of reasons why people associate vampires with blood is because most vampires are psychic vampires, and they take your energy, and they can actually brainwash you and make you and sort of hypnotize you, because they use lots of mentalism. And so they associate energy with blood, and like what you're feeling at the time. If you're frightened, if you're happy, if you're excited, that blood is going to reflect that when they drink it in, or when they suck your energy in, they're going to get that energy that you're feeling at the time. Some people do, like some vampires, they drink a little bit of blood, but most of the time they just do energy. I don't recommend drinking anybody's blood because of the disease, and to me it's just unsanitary, okay, unless it's your own blood. Okay. But yeah, that's why blood is so taboo, because it holds so much of your intent. And like, if you replace the word blood with energy or frequency, you'll understand more how you can use blood in your rituals. Like, say you really want something to work, and you need your intent to be extra. Use blood in the ritual. Use blood in the spell. Use blood in your love spell or your money spell. Put it on the candle. It just gives it an extra oomph, you know. It's sort of like using crystals, that gives you a frequency or an extra antenna or an extra battery in your work. So if you're interested in learning about like the energy work and vampirism and psychic energy vampires, that will teach you a lot as well. These are two of the books that I've read, and y'all can see. One is the Psychic Vampire Codex, a manual of magic and energy work by Michelle Ballinger. This is a good one. And then Vampire Magic, the Grimoire of the Living Vampire by Father Sebastian. I've read that one. These are both really good books. This is the Encyclopedia of the Undead. I've had this since I was in high school, y'all. That's why it's so tattered. But yeah, so it just kind of goes through the history and all the terms and stuff behind vampires, and there's pictures of like cult classic vampires movies and all that kind of good stuff in there if you like vampires. And then because a lot of people used to believe in vampires in the old days, but really vampires are just master mentalists and they use energy work to, you know, get their fix, get their energy. A lot of energy vampires don't even know that they're vampires. But I'm getting off topic. The topic was blood. Yes, so if you want extra intent in your spell, use blood. I don't suggest putting your blood in anything that someone's going to ingest. For medical purposes and for sanitary purposes, I don't think that's cool. A lot of women will say, well, what about menstrual blood? Can you put that in someone's food or someone's drink to make them more attracted to you and da 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 da? I suggest like because a lot of women do that because they said the menstrual blood holds power, because it does hold that that dark matter that's in your uterus that creates, and only the only mitochondria DNA for all human is in the womb. So yes, it's very sacred. That blood is very sacred. So if your man, like if you're in a relationship, if you're in a marriage, and if your man knows about it and is cool with it, that's fine. If you're disease free and you're not trying to cause harm to anybody, you know, and you're just trying to use your craft, I would definitely get medically tested before I start, you know, doing any of that, and maybe talking to your partner about it, because the male actually used to ask females for their menstrual blood because it held so much power. They used to ask for it to drink back in the old days because, like, especially people that practice magic and pagans, they felt like it gave them an edge, a power, an understanding, more insight, and because it's that dark energy and that dark matter. So yes, a lot of witches actually, and a lot of people that practice magic in certain cultures, people come to them and buy that blood, and that's crazy to me. But yeah, especially if the woman is like really spiritually advanced, they will go after her. Yes, so that's my video on blood. And like I said, it's like a touchy subject. So you know, it's for some people, it's not for some people. And about animal blood is it's the same thing. You know, the strength of that animal, the makeup of that animal. That's why people use animal parts, because it gives you that feeling, that energy, the representation of that animal, what the animal was feeling, what the animal represents. It's the animal's intention, which is like why some people eat meat in certain cultures, especially in like the Asian cultures. They eat certain animals and certain meats to get the power or the strength or the wisdom or the agility of certain animals, because it's true that flesh, that blood holds that vibration of what that animal has inside of them. So humans say, okay, well, I want to be fertile like a rabbit, so I'm going to eat rabbit. Or I want to be strong like, you know, this animal, so I'm going to eat this animal. A lot of Native Americans believe that as well. So that's kind of where we get into like meat eaters and vegetarians. There are certain cultures and certain people that had to be strong, that had to have strength, that had to be fierce, that had to be warriors, because they were being oppressed by other people. So they had to eat meat. They had to be warriors. They had to be strong. They had to do something to get an edge on, you know, the other people. So a lot of people will go back and forth about this, but it's all culture. Just like some magic was born out of oppression, such as hoodoo, and some magic was born out of the love of nature, like Wicca and the goddess. So you have some magic that was born out of anger and revenge and hate to get back at certain people and certain people that were being oppressed. I mean, that were oppressing other people. And then you have this love, nature, magic that's supposed to put all things in harmony. Well, if you're from this culture, you didn't have harmony. You didn't have time to fall in love with nature. You know, you didn't have time to do this. You were too busy being oppressed. So that's why the magics are different, because the cultures are different and the people are different. And some people use blood, some people don't. Some people have to, some people don't. So when you get into this type of discussion, it's always going to bring up some controversy, but you have to just be knowledgeable and educated to understand where this person is coming from and where their ancestors have been. So you can't just push your beliefs or your magical beliefs or your magical cultural beliefs onto another person, because that's not what their ancestors taught them. That's not what they went through. You know, a lot of times people just don't understand because they don't ask the right questions. So if you have any questions, or you want me to do like a part 2 or a mini series about cultural magic and why some magic is more baneful and why some is more, you know, uplifting, I can do that. So thumbs up if you like this video, comment and let me know what you think about blood and spells and if you've done it before. And that's it. Okay, thank y'all so much for watching. Have a blessed evening.